Have you ever wondered why the Israel-Hamas conflict has persisted for so long? The Israel-Hamas conflict, a long-standing dispute in the Middle East, has been a significant global issue for decades. It has seen periods of intense violence interspersed with uneasy calm. Rooted in a struggle over land and identity, the conflict involves a range of political, religious, and cultural dimensions that make it incredibly complex. This video aims to unravel this intricate web. We'll explore the conflict in a chronological manner from its genesis to its most recent flare-ups. We'll delve into key events, the role of various actors, and the impact of the conflict on the lives of those directly affected. By presenting the events in a sequential order, we hope to provide a clear understanding of the situation, shedding light on the factors that have contributed to the persistence of this conflict. The Israel-Hamas conflict is a story of power, politics, and people. It is a story of aspirations, fears, and resilience. It's a story that has shaped the course of the Middle East and continues to influence global politics. Join us on this journey through time as we unravel the complex narrative of the Israel-Hamas conflict. Our story begins in 2005 with Israel's withdrawal from Gaza. This was a significant event, marking a turning point in the history of the region. The Israeli government decided to pull out all its troops and settlers from the Gaza Strip, a densely populated area on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea. This move was seen as a step towards peace, an attempt to end the decades-long Israeli-Palestinian conflict. However, the vacuum created by Israel's withdrawal soon became a breeding ground for new tensions. The power dynamics in Gaza began to shift dramatically, leading to the rise of Hamas in 2006. Hamas, an Islamist group, was established with the aim of liberating Palestine from Israeli occupation and establishing an Islamic state in its place. They gained popularity among the Palestinians for their stance against Israel and their commitment to the Palestinian cause. In the Palestinian legislative elections held in 2006, Hamas emerged victorious, defeating the incumbent Fatah party. This victory was a shock to many, including Israel and the international community. It marked a significant change in the political landscape of the region, shifting the power balance in favor of Hamas. However, this victory was not without controversy. It led to a power struggle between Hamas and Fatah, culminating in the Battle of Gaza in 2007. This conflict resulted in Hamas seizing control of the Gaza Strip, effectively splitting the Palestinian territories into two separate entities: the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip and the West Bank under Fatah's control. This period also saw the capture of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit by Hamas in 2006. This event not only heightened tensions between Israel and Hamas, but also set the stage for future conflicts, including major Israeli military offensives in Gaza in 2008 and 2014. This period marked the beginning of a new era of tension and conflict between Israel and Hamas. The rise of Hamas and the subsequent events following Israel's withdrawal from Gaza laid the groundwork for the ongoing conflict that we see today. These historical events are crucial in understanding the complexities of the Israel-Hamas conflict. The situation took a dramatic turn in 2006 with the capture of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit. This event marked a significant escalation in the long-standing Israel-Hamas conflict. Shalit's abduction by Hamas militants during a cross-border raid sent shockwaves through Israel and the world. A year later, in 2007, Hamas took control of the Gaza Strip, effectively splitting the Palestinian territories into two separate entities. This event was a turning point, setting the stage for a series of intense confrontations between Israel and Hamas. The year 2008 witnessed the first of these major offensives, with Israel launching Operation Cast Lead. This 3-week military campaign was in response to rockets fired from Gaza into Israeli territory. The operation resulted in a high number of casualties, exacerbating the already tense situation. Fast forward 6 years to 2014, and the conflict had escalated even further. Israel initiated Operation Protective Edge, another major offensive against Hamas in Gaza. This 50-day war resulted in a devastating death toll and widespread destruction in Gaza. In the midst of these military confrontations, there were also significant periods of civil unrest. The year 2018 saw the Great March of Return, a series of Palestinian protests along the Gaza-Israel border. These protests were met with a strong response from the Israeli forces, leading to numerous casualties and further escalating tensions. These were years of major escalation, with both sides launching attacks and counterattacks. The cycle of violence and retaliation, of offensives and defensives, has left deep scars on both sides of the conflict. As we move forward in our exploration of this complex issue, let's remember the human cost of these events. The lives lost and affected in the crossfire of escalating hostilities. The conflict reached a new peak in May 2021, a time marked by heightened tensions and an eruption of violence. It was during this period that we witnessed the most serious escalation between Palestinian militants and Israel since the 11-day war of the same year. The timeline of these events is punctuated with significant milestones that have shaped the unfolding narrative of the conflict. In 2005, Israel made the decision to withdraw from Gaza. This move was followed by a rise in the influence of Hamas, the Islamist group, in 2006. The same year saw the capture of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit, an event that further ignited the conflict. By 2007, Hamas had taken control of Gaza, setting the stage for a series of Israeli military offensives in 2008 and 2014. The year 2018 saw the emergence of Palestinian protests, further escalating the tensions. However, it was the conflict in May 2021 that marked a new peak in the ongoing dispute. This period was characterized by an increased number of airstrikes and rocket fire, signaling a significant escalation in the conflict. Fast forward to August 2022, a senior Islamic Jihad commander was killed by Israel, leading to a resurgence of airstrikes and rocket fire. The death toll in Gaza reached around 30, marking another tragic chapter in the history of the conflict. Amidst this, tensions were further stoked by the presence of Jewish visitors at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, a site of great significance and contention in the conflict. These recent events have once again raised global concerns about the ongoing conflict. With each new development, the world watches, hoping for a resolution that will bring an end to the violence and restore peace in the region. So, where does this leave us today? As we cast our minds back to the origins of the Israel-Hamas conflict, we remember how it started as a struggle over land and identity. It was a clash between two communities, each with a profound sense of historical and religious connection to the same piece of earth. This was a dispute not just about territory, but about identity, heritage, and the right to self-determination. We recall the major escalations that have punctuated this ongoing conflict. The rise of Hamas in 2006, the capture of Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit, the takeover of Gaza by Hamas in 2007, and the subsequent Israeli military offensives in 2008 and 2014. Each one of these events has left a deep imprint on the psyche of both communities, reinforcing mutual distrust and animosity. We then shift our focus to the recent events that have further inflamed tensions. The annual flag march by Israeli nationalists through Jerusalem's Old City, the airstrikes and rocket attacks, and the rising death toll. In this volatile environment, the fear of a wider conflict looms large, and the potential for peace seems increasingly elusive. And this brings us to the present. The state of the conflict today is, unfortunately, as complex and as fraught as ever. The stakes are high, not just for Israel and Hamas, but for the wider region, and indeed, the world. The quest for peace is urgent, but it is also fraught with challenges. The path to resolution is not straightforward, and it requires not just political will, but also a deep understanding of the historical and cultural complexities that underpin this conflict. So, as we stand on the brink of the future, we are left with a sense of urgency, a desire for peace, and a recognition of the complexities that surround this conflict. It's clear that the resolution of the Israel-Hamas conflict won't be achieved through military might alone, but through dialogue, understanding, and mutual respect. As we reflect on the chronology of events, we realize that understanding the Israel-Hamas conflict isn't about taking sides. It's about acknowledging the complex historical context that frames it.